Just an update on this type of sponge filter. You can see where I've pulled this one out. It was glued to the inside of one of the buckets. I pulled this one out to have a good look at it. You probably can't really see it all that well, but what's happened was that inside the buckets there was a lot of white powder from the perlite where I failed to wash it, and it's managed to get stuck all in this area where the drain would have been. Now I've cured the problem by sticking a bamboo skewer up the drain hole and poking a few holes in this white scourer stuff, this stuff just here. But I've also developed the technique a bit further, so I'll just show you a yellow bucket where the white powder started gluing things up. This is one of the yellow buckets that's got the original sponge filter still in it. I'll just get down here and see if we can see. You can see up the top there that it's got a lot of white powder on top of it, but that white powder is also in the back here. You can see all the white powder that's set like cement down the bottom of the bucket. Basically, it is curable, but to avoid the problem completely, I came up with another variation on the filter system. This is the current filter that I'm using. You can see here it's got the super scourer glued to some normal old dishwasher sponge, well in fact 2 dishwasher sponges. Now these are used as spacers to keep this away from the wall. I've got like a dummy fitting here. That would be the joint that fits into the middle of the thing. And here you can see the hole that I've drilled down the middle. Basically all I did was I used these 2 bits of sponge on their own, and I used the hole saw running in reverse and just drilled a hole through there, and that fits onto the joiner unit. So I can use it on half, or if I've got a full one I can just press it in all the way, because just pull that back out again. You can see that the depth is exactly one joiner. That's the current variation that I'm using. I'm actually using this on 4 buckets at the moment out of my 14. I'll just show you the rig as I've set it up. I probably should mention that I had one of these in one of those 5-gallon buckets, the wide ones. Well, I've actually had a series of them over there, but one bucket I put 3 feed lines into it, and I ran water into it at triple the what's normal for a solid week, and there was no sign of clogging in that filter. Like the perlite dust seems to pass straight through it, but the larger particles, they don't get anywhere. This is my rig. Basically it's a double row, and it's 7 buckets long. Well, I've put 7 buckets on each side. I probably should have only put on 6, but it's 2.4 metres long for those who know that that's 8 feet. You can see the centre drain. It's like I've put different length drain connectors on them so I can stagger things around. That's the feed pipe just running along there. That's next. It's actually taped to the drain pipe for a bit of support. On the end of the feed pipe I've got a purge valve so I can purge the system when I want. The reservoir is down the end of this thing at the moment. This little thing along the top here, that's just to at the moment it's still a bit cold here, so at night I put a bit of plastic over it and just hold it down with clips. I've got various methods of putting the feeders in. There I've got it on an elbow joint which just puts it in the side. This one's the same as Bobby's doing it, where I was just stuck it in the top of the perlite. This one I've got running through the side of the bucket and pointing at this little Apollo. That's Quietwoods 2 put me onto that idea. Some of these I've got the original paint strainer filter in. These 4 square buckets over here, I've got the original yellow and white filter in them. These 4 buckets here have got the new paint scourer method. This one's got a paint filter. That one's got a super scourer in it, and the black buckets on the end. What have they got in them? I can't remember what sort of filter. Oh, this one will have the double sponge on it, and not too sure what that one's got on it. It's got one of the types of filter. While I think of it, this type of filter, you can see what happened with the white powder. It really glued this type of scourer up. Nothing much that I could do to unclog that one. So this one's bitten the dust. So I might try the type again, like the piece of PVC with the 3 holes in it, with a bit of fly wire taped around it, or a couple of rubber bands or something like that. Anyhow, that's for the next time I do another setup. For the moment, it can just sort of sit there and remind me. Anyhow, that's my Dutch bucket setup, which is basically a test rig. It's just trying out various things. Like I've got yellow buckets, I've got 3-gallon buckets, I've got 4-gallon buckets that I've painted partially green. I've got some old printed buckets which are blue. I've got 5-gallon black buckets down here. Yeah, that's a 5-gallon black bucket. That's quite a tall one. So, like, I've got the whole range of stuff. We'll just see how it all goes.